my series, Developing Your Inner Adult, I define an adult as someone who is responsive to the needs of others. That is, you understand that others have needs and concerns that are as important to them as yours are to you, rather than just being focused on your own needs and concerns. This is part 2, moving beyond self-blaming. Blaming yourself usually leads to guilt. Guilt is about punishing yourself for either what you did or for what you failed to do. The purpose of blaming yourself is punishment and guilt. Self-induced suffering does not help the person you hurt. Apologizing for hurtful behavior certainly is a good thing. Playing a penitent role is not. Whenever we feel guilty toward another person, we diminish ourselves. We find ourselves feeling small in their presence. In other words, we're not ourselves. And in this state, we find ourselves doing and saying things to get their approval, to get their forgiveness, or we get angry at them for making us feel guilty. An example of this is the relationship between parents and children. The guilt has a parent, 1, blaming self and feeling guilty, 2, defending self to avoid the guilt, or 3, projecting the guilt onto the child. When we failed as parents, usually we were not responsive to our children's needs. Yet now, as we're feeling guilty, whose needs are we focused on? We're focused on our own. Always guilt is a focus on yourself. So if we're feeling guilty for something we did, we really haven't learned anything. We really haven't grown. To see someone else as a person, not as an object, is to be responsive. To be responsive is to be present and to care about someone's well-being. Seek to understand how your child feels and be responsive now. That is, don't let guilt drive your behavior. Appeasing, trying to do things to make them like you, will all fail. Forget about making them like you. Forget about getting them to forgive you. Focus only on being the best parent you can be right now. And this applies to other situations too. Whether it's about you being a good manager or a good employee or a good son or daughter or neighbor, whatever it may be. Focus on being the best you can be right now. And that's what will redeem you. Your present-day mindset and behavior is what brings you redemption, not feeling guilty over the past. We all have times when we are not responsive. Guilt is not the answer. Learning is the answer. Practice paying attention to people around you. Make it your goal to stop blaming yourself for whatever you've done or for whatever you think you failed to do. Make it your goal to focus right now on the person that you want to be and on the goals that you want to achieve. The question is, what do you want to come of this day, of your life, right now? What do you want to come of it? In other words, guilt is a focus on the past. Focus your attention forward. Move on. Move beyond self-blaming. Thanks for joining me. I look forward to speaking with you in the next installment of Developing Your Inner Adult.